Everyone, welcome back to Fab Club Instagram Live Curtain Call series featuring Aline Morales today. So in the previous video, I just did a quick intro of the series and a bit about Aline Morales and a bit about Maracatu. So now we're going to bring her on live to talk a bit about her life, where she's from, her music, her art, some struggles she's overcome in the industry, and maybe there'll be a little surprise at the end. So stay tuned. And a bit about the series, just to recap, Curtain Call is a weekly series hosted by myself and Fab Collab Leah Granger. And every week we're featuring a different woman from the music industry around the world, starting right here in Toronto. And great, so here is Aline, and we're just going to welcome her on. Aline, I think you have to request live to join live, and then I can bring you on. So there should be a little button there that says request to join the video live. And as soon as you do that, I will accept. So we have, again, just a quick intro here. Aline Morales, from Minas Gerais in Brazil, living here in Toronto for so many years that I feel like she's from here. So we'll get her to tell you a bit about that. Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah. Hi, Aline. Hola, Laura. Thanks for coming.
hola, Tamar. Mwah.
Welcome. So I just
Thank
did a bit intro of you and that you're from Minas Gerais, and a bit about you and how I sang Ileago and said I learned it from you like so many years ago, and it's been in my mind, it's stuck in my head ever since then. So welcome, Aline. On,
thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know. I miss you. Uh, so I'm so happy to have Aline here. She's one of my, teachers in my life and my mentors and beautiful women that I really believe in, and one of my idols. So I don't know if I've told you all that before, but now you know. So and one of my favorite artists here in Toronto. So I'm so happy. So Aline, maybe can you just tell us a bit about the music that you do and who you are, sort of what you do here in Toronto, you as an artist, just kind of general Aline.
Yeah. Well, I'm mainly, my main influence in music. It's the drums and Afro-Brazilian styles. Since I arrived in Toronto, I came with this new approach. I brought this new art form and tradition called Maracatu. So I started teaching, and through that, many other windows kind of opened up. Now, like as an artist, I'm kind of pretty much, like, I would say I do a little bit of everything. I'm a singer, I play percussion, I play other styles of music. Even my music now, of course, has many other influences. It's not just about drumming and Afro-Brazilian, still very rooted on that, but I would say that it's more out there as well. It's kind of a little bit out of the box.
Well, that's good. That's what we want. That's what it has to be, I think, these days. But tell us, I mean, you said it's based on Afro-Brazilian music, so can you tell us what that music is? A bit about maracatu, I think, is the primary thing it's based on, but maybe other influences and what those things are, and like what is maracatu?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think, musically, my influences are many because I grew up in Brazil. I was for a long time heavily into capoeira, which is also, like a tradition, like a resistance tradition and art form and martial art. And then I encountered maracatu in my life, which is kind of open up, my music world, my music career. Maracatu, it's an Afro-Brazilian tradition from that you found on the city of Recife. Uh, very spiritual, very old tradition. Uh, like musically, the characteristic of it, it's like, like it's a pretty much a drumming ensemble, like heavy percussion, with, songs that with beautiful melodies and songs that talk about, like the the about the community that the Maracatu are from, because it's kind of a small tradition. Although I think it's like taking over the world right now. The entire world play maracatu, like of course they play the rhythms of maracatu. They're not, there's, if you want to find the real tradition, you have to go to Recife. you know we pretty much just work with the music. Just we are just maracatu lovers, like we don't really do the real
Just
thing.
like the ceremonial aspect of it? Sorry,
Pardon me.
by the real tradition, do you mean like the ceremonial aspect of it?
Yeah, the core of maracatu, the ceremonial, like in a way, it's the coronation of an African queen and an African king, and all the how it's all connected to to their ancestrality, their roots, being part of the candomblé, the Afro-Brazilian religion, is also an important part of it, like a super huge aspect to it. So I feel like we all here that play maracatu, have learned maracatu before. We have a completely different approach that they do when you go there and you actually
Right.
realize what really, yeah.
Right. Like like I spent a month there just on the tail end of Carnival, but it's really like a lifestyle. It's your whole life, right?
Yeah,
Whereas
yes,
it's
totally.
fun. Cool. And then I guess
But
my
it's
question,
funny because
yeah, go ahead.
I feel here, sorry, I feel here also sometimes it becomes a lifestyle, for some reason people they get addicted. But I also feel that it's like it's what we take it from playing drums with a lot of people, this sense of community, right?
Yeah.
But there's also other stuff. There's the obligations, that they carry with their ancestors, with their culture, with their spirituality.
Mhm.
There's all that we don't have here.
Yeah, it's definitely addictive. I can vouch for
Yeah.
that. I started playing with you, I think, in 2006, and it's like a love, becomes one of the loves of your life. But I
Yeah,
guess like how it's changed here, what you brought here, how Maracatu is for you here, your experience of like starting the first Maracatu group in Toronto, and then also I want to ask about other influences, but we'll get to that later. Let's start with that. So how did you come to Canada, and what was it like creating the first kind of Maracatu group here in Toronto?
uh, so I came to Canada. I met this Canadian guy that many of people from our community knows, Alex Bordocas, and we were together as a couple back in Brazil. He was living there, also studying, fell in love with the culture, and he came back and he said, like it would be nice if you know where I come from, my roots, and all that. And I was like, because before I never even I don't like, I never thought about moving out of my country or coming to a cold country, like learning another language. Uh, so I said, okay, all right. I was young. I was kind of also starting to take music a little more serious in my life. So I came, and also everything was so like is there were unpretentious. Like there wasn't any, like I never had in my mind, oh, I'm going and I'm doing a group. It was just like, oh, that's what I have, like that's what I'm bringing in my backpack. That's what I'm. It was just very natural that I would start teaching, um, and that's how kind of started. And when I first came here, like the idea of Brazilian music, Brazilian culture was still very oh, like was kind of nobody really knew about maracatu. Nobody really heard about maracatu, so it was kind of like a hit. Everybody was like, "Whoa!" Especially, I would say even more the Canadians, like based people, not so much the Brazilian community at the time. So I started with that. I started teaching people. So naturally we started a group, of people that already knew how to play. We start the addiction, like people got addicted. uh, so that's kind of how started with the group, the former Nunca Antes. Yeah.
What was that? Like,
Huh?
what year did you come? I can't remember.
I think the very first time I came, 2002.
Oh wow. Wow, 18
Yeah,
years.
long.
Amazing. Well, we're so happy that you came. Yeah, so you started Maracatu run just after that, I think. And it's evolved. Nunca antes was the first one, like you just said, which means never before, for those of you who don't speak Brazilian, because there had never before been maracatu in Toronto, right? And it evolved, and now you have another group. Now there's a couple of maracatu groups in the city, and yours is Bakijibamba, which means, what
Yes.
is
Well, Baki is actually the musical part of the maracatu tradition, and bamba means, bamba. It's actually more a term that they use more like in samba and in capoeira, which means someone that really knows the way around. The malandragem, the resilience. Let's call like that, I guess.
mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what Baki de Bamba means.
And even you said there's maracatu everywhere, and your sister runs one in Barcelona as well that I've played in,
Oh yes,
and she runs a big
yeah.
one. And I've played maracatu in Paris, and everybody knows about you and your sister Jabu. And I've played maracatu in San Francisco, and they're like, "Oh, you play with Aline, you must know all the everything." I'm like, "Oh no."
Well, I'm
So,
glad I passed that image.
yeah. So if you're interested, those of you watching, Laura, anybody, if you're interested in playing maracatu, definitely get in touch with us. And it's an open group, right, Aline? So if you want to join and play this beautiful, not right now, obviously, but it's really a street tradition. So if you're interested and get involved, because it's really a community and really beautiful art form and tradition. But also, Aline, you said you came here and your own personal music got influenced by like other art forms. So tell us like a little bit about that, if you can, your own
Yeah,
music.
so from Maracatu, I started kind of being well known in the city, or like because I was also something that I never had the intent. I mean, not the intention, that I never did like planned, which was to become a singer, right? So so people was like, oh, this girl's come and sing to my project, whatever, whoever was working at the time with Brazilian music. So I also started developing that on my career, and also I met my partner in music and in crime, David Arcus, which I think is kind of was a turning point in my career to meet this guy, as a partner, because we get along so well musically, and also like in many other aspects too. Like we're very good friends, and we just kind of speak the same language. We we understand each other musically. Dave is a super sensitive guy in every ways, and super easy to work on. And I think from him, because he's totally like a, white Canadian guy with beard, and uh, so I think he also brought to me a completely different world, like a musical world, because his influences are completely different than mine, kind of the opposite. And I kind of, so we all like, we put all this together, and we were able to create music. Uh, and now we did one album before in 2011. It was a Juno nominated album. We didn't get the Juno, but we were nominated. Uh, and we also now we're finished our second album, Toadas do Norte. It's going to be released, and because of this whole situation that the world is living, like it has been delayed, but there are some songs out already. So that's how it totally changed my musical perspective as well.
Amazing. And go check those songs out. Follow Aline right here on Instagram, Spotify, right? Are the new songs out, like single released?
Well, there's not. There's some songs that are been playing. They've been playing on the radio that we kind of use them as a promotional way type of thing, so people can get the vibe of what the album is going to be. But we're having a performance this weekend at Mixto Festival, and all the songs played on the show will be from the album that
Oh,
will
so
be released.
album release.
Pardon me?
Almost
It's
like
almost.
that.
Yeah, we're not playing all the songs, but all of the songs are on the album.
Cool. Okay, so go check that out. That's this Sunday, right? It's this day I'm hosting.
Yes.
Actually, I'm also hosting that day, Sunday, live on CIUT-FM. Mixed dojo. It was, of course, out at Link's parking lot last year, big outdoor festival. This year, it's all online. I did want to mention it, so I'm glad you brought it up. It is. Fab Club is a community partner, actually. So go check it out. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday is DJ party, all female lineup, I think, right? Sophia Fly, Win, DJ Win, and a couple more. Go check it out. Saturdays, workshops and other things. And Sundays, like 6 or 7, 8, I don't know, performances. Bruno Capinan, Aline Morales, right here, and Witch Prophet, and many others. So go check that out. Mixto Festival, and go follow and check it out, and check out Aline's live performance. And I'm going to get you to play as well today, but that's coming up. So stay tuned, everyone. But first, I just want to ask you, like, if you've had any struggles as a musician here or in Brazil in your career, and kind of how that's affected you, or how you've overcome it, how it's changed you, anything like that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I think struggles, you find everywhere, like any kind of job, any kind of situation, like people, it's part of being a human being, to struggle. But of course, there are few things that I could pointed out in my career that kind of I had to overcome. Well, the first thing is like coming to Canada, right? Is like as an immigrant, as a woman, like not knowing, for the first thing, the language, which is, I still feel it's a huge thing for me. But this is kind of something you have to, like, okay, like I have to do this, and if I screwed up, whatever, like I'm gonna keep going. Um, and then after, for a long time through my career, I had a partner which was Canadian, and he was also a big part of the whole thing, right? And when we weren't partners anymore, I had to overcome that. Also, okay, now I'm completely by myself. So of course, like so many people from the community were there for me to help and everything, but still you're like, you have this feeling, okay, now I have to deal with everything, bureaucratic or like anything, you name it, by yourself. And all the insecurities come again, but I'm not from here, I don't speak the language, and if people judge me, you know little things like that.
Yourself, yeah.
And of course, being a woman, which is something that I never realized before, it is, it puts you in a step behind of people.
Why is that?
Well, it's sometimes it's not even like on purpose, but I feel that, like if there is like if there's someone that plays exactly like I do, the same way I do, whatever, and it's a man, they will always have this advantage of being a man. You know what I mean?
Advantage. Why do you think, I don't have the answer, but why do you think that gives them the advantage? Just
Because
like,
the
what is it?
world is because the world was it's used to, so it's used to have men in position of power, men, they're always on the highlight of being good on something, like it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of natural for the world to give credits for men
Mm-hmm.
other than for women. This is a movement that it's happening, and it's growing, and it's slowly, like we're overcoming. I think there's still a lot, but it is, it is. So in
Well,
many some,
oh, sorry, go ahead. I'll say it after.
you can ask me.
It's not a question. I just want to say, for those people watching, by the way, hi, Robert of Light and Global Toronto, and Cody. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're with Morales today. And oh, hi, Cody. Yeah, you guys, we had a show together a few years ago. Miigwech means thank you. And Aline and Cody were part of it. And we'll talk about that more later. Hi, Cody. And and also, I just want to say about that, powerful, like men are more powerful, consider more powerful. If you've never seen Aline on stage leading like 30 or more drums, you're one of the most powerful, not women even, but just people I know. So, you're tearing that down. You're one of those forefront women leading, it's incredible. You guys got to witness it. Maracatu and Aline's out there, 30 plus drummers following her every motion and perfectly in sync. So, you know, you got no one's got anything on you. So, anyways, let's keep moving forward. I want to say, like, you did mention to me at one time that you had a specific experience as a woman at a venue here in Toronto, actually, and you know, and that really did mark you, and you've been thinking about it all the time. You're a recent mother, so that stuck with me, and I just want to ask if you want to talk about it at all.
Yeah, well, yes, and I think this is a subject that needs to be like, we need to this because I'm sure, us as women that we have the ability of being mothers. It happens to many people, and not just with me. Not just on the music scene. I'm saying, yeah. So I had my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have twins, and oops, sorry. When I just had my kids, so the thing is, like, I had a show booked, but my kids, because they are twins, they came earlier. So they came 1 month and a half earlier. And I supposed to have this show, and I had them, and I couldn't keep up with anything. I barely could keep up with them. My work, like, the other aspects of my life was like falling apart. My kitchen, like everything. And I couldn't deliver the way that this person who hired me, she wanted me to deliver. And it was a woman. So, like, previous to the show, she called me and she gave me kind of a hard time because I wasn't being able to promote. I wasn't on social media. I never invited people, whatever, on Facebook. And I said to her, like, I'm so sorry, but this is my situation right now. This is my current situation, and that's why. And she basically told me, like, maybe not in this, that's how I felt, but she told me, I don't give a fuck what is your situation right now. She didn't
Mm-hmm.
say the F word, but she said that I don't give a shit. Like, if you're a mother, you do your job, and it's not of my, like, your problem is your problem. I don't care. And I mean, in a way, I understand. She also has a point. She is right. But when you just become a mother and you're so, like, everything is so touchy, and you're like, your hormones is all over the place. And I was like, oh my God, can't believe I'm hearing this from a woman.
But I kind of
And
disagree because it is also her problem. It's her venue. It's her thing. Like, you have to work together, you know?
yeah, I
It's
mean, I understand, but there's also this type of thinking, like, your job is your job, and you do it no matter what is your condition, which is, I understand. And then I was like, okay, maybe she's right. I have to do this. So there was the sound check, and the sound check was too early, and the rest of the band couldn't really be there. And she went bananas. She was really upset, and I was like, okay, you know what? Just take out of my paycheck. If that's a big problem because you're paying the sound guy,
wow.
and she took out of my payment. She didn't even acknowledge. She gave such a hard time to, we have an extra musician. The musician wanted to bring the keyboard inside the venue, and she was giving him a hard time because she didn't want it. Oh, someone is saying something. My
We'll get to
tattoos.
you. Oh, yeah.
Um, so,
We'll
anyways,
talk
it
you
was
through it.
just, it wasn't. First of all, I didn't think she was professional at all. Taking out of the. I think I just said that because she was so upset with me that I was like, okay, just take. But I don't think this is also professional. Analyzing after,
No,
and
that's crazy. She took money
the
out
lack,
for the sound check. That's crazy.
yes, the
I've
lack
never heard of that.
of passion, and the lack of, like, of sorority, coming from a woman. I was like, like, I think about it, I was like, wow. But, I just decided I never stepping here anymore. I'm not playing. Also, all the other musicians, which was happened to be all dudes, all men, they also were shocked. They were like, "Oh my God, what is this? This is the most disrespectful environment I ever been." So things like that.
That ties into what you're saying about just naturally being women. We're always a step behind men because That wouldn't happen to a man because he wouldn't give birth to twins. It's just just that very fact, right? And
Exactly.
I'm so sorry to hear about that, but I'm with you. I don't think I'm ever gonna perform in those venues again if I find out about them. So we need to support each other, and
Yeah.
I'm yeah, and I'm glad that your band supported you as well through that time.
Yes.
Okay, Aline, I think the time has come. Oh yeah, guys, check her out live this Sunday for those of you who just joined. Oh wait, actually, let's answer this question. Oi, Code School, what up, girls? Yeah,
Hi,
what's up?
Aline. What are your tattoos meaning? I'm from Barcelona and I saw your sister. Yeah. All right. So this one, means nothing. It's just, it's just a nice throat. And I have one here that means Morales is my identity. It's like we have me and my sister, we all have Morales written somewhere.
You have three.
Uh,
There's four of you, right? You have three sisters,
yeah,
right?
there's four of us. Yes.
Amazing, and all in different countries, right?
Oh no,
The
just me and Jabu. Now I have two that are back in Brazil.
two. Oh, awesome.
Two in Brazil.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Morales, your family name, your identity. Any others?
Yeah. This one, nothing. What else do I have? I think I have some that you guys cannot see. Oh, I have one here that is the, I mean, I can show, but is the Ogun symbol, is a bunch of tools that represent strength and yeah.
Nice. Thanks, Lucy, for the question. And we love Jabu in Barcelona. If anybody's going to Barcelona ever, go check her out as well.
Yes.
Amazing artist, brilliant artist. Check her out online, Jabu Morales. And so, Aline, I think the time has come. I'm so excited. Unless anyone has any other questions, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to our second. Oh, Jabu, look, Jabu just.
That's it.
When Jabu, we just talked about you. It's like you heard us. So we just talked about Morales and how you're in Barcelona. Aww. Amazing. And I had the great honor, I have to tell this story because it's like one of my favorite moments of my life when I was in
I was
Barcelona.
gonna say that right now. Just
so I just was like living in Barcelona and playing a little bit with Jabu and her maracatu there, and I was coming back to Canada, and she said, "If you're coming back to Canada, can you please bring a song to my sister, to Aline?" And I was like so honored, and it's been like the best, one of the best things of my life. And she wrote a song, Jabu, you're right there, so you can, verify the story. But she wrote a song for Aline's new maracatu group over here, Baki Jibamba, that was new at the time, about 10 years ago. Foi demais. I know, I agree, it was like insane. She
also
wrote a song
I
and
would like.
carried the song. Go ahead, Aline.
No, I just would like to say that many of the songs on this upcoming album, my sister Jabush is a woman of many talents. She's also a mother of twins. She has this beautiful project, Ion, so check it out, Ion Music. And
Put the link. Jabu put the link there.
Okay, Jabu, yeah. And she also, like we collaborate. She's an amazing lyric, like composer, writer, so she's awesome with lyrics. So a bunch of the songs from my upcoming album have her touch, her lyrics.
Yeah, she's amazing. So yeah, I just carried this song back from Jabu to Aline, and like Aline learned it and taught it to the group, to the Baki, and it's become like the anthem. Like it's all about Baki Bamba and strength and rebirth and leadership, and it's become the anthem, and it's been sung all over the city for like the past 10 years. And every time I hear it, I just like want to cry with happiness that I was even part of the story. So thank you both
I
for
know.
that. Amazing. Okay, so Aline, like before we go, I think me and everyone else is just dying to hear you play something live. So would you do us that honor, please?
Yes.
And tell us
So
what you're
I
gonna
just,
do.
yeah, I prepared, like I can do one or two, but should I do two or one?
Of course. Oh, here, one
Two.
more
Oh,
question from my mom. Hola, Jabu. I always remember when you and Aline, then expecting the twins, and your little one and Eduardo all came to my class at York to introduce the students to Maracatu. Oh, yeah. Jabu came to visit, and you guys went up to York University and taught, and everybody still remembers and loves that.
amazing.
Okay, Aline, what are you going to do for us?
So I'm gonna do a song, like it's not a maracatu or anything. It's actually a song from my forró background that I actually never sang live the song, and I really always
Cool.
wanted to. So I'm gonna take advantage now that there's just voice and percussion, And I'm gonna sing a song. Jabu might know the song. It calls Me Diga Homem from a band called Banda de Pau e Corda. And I'm just gonna play a little pandeiro, and it might not sound amazing because the sound with this phone problem. But I will sing for you, and then I'll do also a Nori one, Nijexá, that it's gonna be on Mixto Festival. This one,
Cool.
the second one. So here I go. Me diga homem. Me diga homem quanto tempo que você não come, mas diga apenas uma vez pra não perder a fome. Me diga homem que é que fez pra tá pagando assim.
I hope everyone's dancing at home.
Apenas uma vez eu vou, sei lá pra onde mais eu vou. Eu junto os meus caquinhos, são pouquinhos, mas sei que dá. É só um bocadinho, mas é tudo eu vou levar. Nenhum tostão no bolso, só o gosto de encontrar. Quem sabe em outras terras, tantinho pra ganhar. Me diga, homem, quanto tempo que você não come, mas diga apenas uma vez pra não perder a fome. Me diga, homem, o que é que fez pra tá pagando assim, mas diga apenas uma vez porque prove de mim. Eu vi, eu acredito porque eu vi. A gente se esquece, a terra toda amarela e a gente se aguentando até torrar. Eu sei que nessa vida em algum lugar, é só questão de tempo, é só questão de procurar. Me diga, homem, quanto tempo que você não come, mas diga apenas uma vez pra não perder a fome. Me diga, homem, o que é que fez pra tá pagando assim, mas diga apenas uma vez porque tô pedindo.
Hey! I love it. That's the basic, of everything I think around the world, the voice and rhythm. So always bringing it back there is the best. I hope everyone is dancing at home.
Do it more? Not at all.
Of course, we're inventing the time.
Can you hear me well? Because your audio is very, very soft.
Let me take these out. You don't. But can you hear me now? Is this better?
Não.
Is this better?
Ei, Wagner, já te ligo. Wagner just called me here. Okay, let me do this one.
Yeah,
and then it's just an Ijexá. It's actually for people from Brazil. Jabu, Wagner. It's this song I'll be playing on Mixto Festival. It's from Pepeu Gomes. It's super popular because it was the opening of a soap opera in Brazil on the 80s. Oh, so wow. Sexy Iemanjá. But it's such a nice song. It's like, the song to play in the beach and just chill. So here we go, Sexy Iemanjá. A noite vai ter lua cheia, tudo pode acontecer. A noite vai ter lua cheia, quem eu amo vem me ver. Tem a ver com o mar, com o ao solar. É o amor que me incendeia. Vou sair de mim, leve como ar, pra abraçar minha sereia. Se ela me chamar e quiser me amar, eu vou. Sexy Iemanjá, tudo a ver com o mar. A noite vai ter lua cheia, a noite vai ter lua cheia. Tudo pode acontecer. A noite vai ter lua cheia. E quem eu amo vem me ver. Vou me preparar num banho de mar, pronto pra ser todo seu. Vou amar demais, quero estar em paz. Entre nós só sexo e Deus. Se ela me chamar e quiser me amar, eu vou. Sexy e manjar, tudo a ver com mar. A noite vai ter lua cheia, a noite vai ter lua cheia. Ai, papá, eu só quero lembrar que a luz da lua vem ter sol. Ai, papá, eu só quero lembrar que a luz da lua vem ter sol. Ai, papá, eu só quero lembrar que a luz da lua vem ter sol. Hey.
Can you just tell everybody just a little bit what you're saying in that last song?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me at all?
No, maybe just me.
Oh, maybe I can type. I'll type it. What does it mean? There, I typed.
What does it mean? All right. So the first one, it's about the life of, the sertão, like a life with where in a place that doesn't rain a lot, and the struggles of, being hungry and have no food, but also talking about resilience, that it's something that we all needed right now. And the other one, Sexy Iemanjá, it's like Sexy Iemanjá. It's all about love. Iemanjá, oh yeah, sorry. Iemanjá it's an Afro-Brazilian goddess, also Afro-Cuban. It's an African orisha, and it represents the strength of the salt waters, of, motherhood, and it's the power of the ocean.
Beautiful. Amazing. I never want to end with you, Aline, but can you hear me? No? Why?
Não, mas tudo bem. Talvez você pode gritar um pouquinho.
I hope everyone else can hear me. I don't know what's happening, but thank you so much, Aline. Obrigada, muito obrigada. And thanks everybody, Wagner Jabu, Judith, Robert of Light, and Corina.
Alissa is my bandmate from Cunha, our project as well, Cunha.
Oh yeah, check it out. Aline is also part of a very Toronto. Oh, Laura.
Alicino. Okay, I'm the only one that they can't hear. Sorry.
Oh, I can hear you. But thanks, Laura. So Aline is also part of amazing project Kune that we'll post about as well. We'll send a link around, and check her out this Sunday live on Mixto, and follow all her things. Go listen to all her music, because Aline is the best. And next week, we're featuring a flamenco dancer who is based between France and Canada, Deborah Dawson. And Leah will be interviewing her and her life and career and everything. So thank you so much, everybody. Muito obrigada. Thank you for tuning in. Aline, anything you want to add?
Thanks, Tamar. Thanks for having me. Such a good window for at this time to talk about stuff. And thanks so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Do you want to read? I typed. Anything you want to add? Since you can't.
No.
No? Okay, well, just go follow her and know everything about Aline. Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Well, if you want to know anything, follow my Instagram, Aline Morales1, and then you ask me there. It's easier.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye, guys. See you next week. Ashe.